1. Yo, everybody, what's up? Welcome to a special edition of the Can-Am Connection. I'm your host, Jody Williams, co-host Tim Talmadge. The other guys are out and about. But today we're going to talk over King of the Table 14. But first things first. Hey, tell me how that tournament went down there in Mexicali, because I heard great things. I saw my boy Freddie Sanchez was killing it. Eli was killing it. So how'd that go? And you killed it, by the way.
I had a good day. I can say that. No, it was good. Packed weekend.
Yeah.
They do it right down there, right? It's just like it's inside big old nightclubs. Everybody shows up, man. I think the amateur classes had probably on average 20, 25 plus people. Packed. It went long. It is what it is. When you're in a crowded place like that, trying to get to the stage, we get it. The way they had it set up, though, was pretty cool. Like, we all started in the main area, and then once all the amateurs in the super matches were done, they stopped for like 45 minutes to an hour and picked everything up, went all the way to the other side of the venue, through a venue to the other side of the venue, outdoors in kind of like an arena, and set it up.
Okay.
So I thought that was pretty cool. But again, I don't think us pros started pulling until about 8:30 at night.
I was going to ask you that. There was a rumor that the open class didn't start so fucking late. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. So, I mean, of course, reffing, I'm already tired. And then Greg's like, hey, man, I want you to pull today. I'm like, bro, I've been reffing all day. Like, what's going on? He's like, well, the guy from Guadalajara flew down here. He's the number one guy at 242 in all of Mexico, and he just won North Americans in Vegas, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't know who he was. I was like, oh, whatever, I'll pull. I'll get my ass kicked, and ended up going undefeated and went to the overalls. And they take the top three in each weight category to the overalls.
Right.
It's a single elimination bracket. So I ended up going to the finals of that as well. I ended up getting a good win against Rocco. He's a big super heavyweight guy here in Arizona. A couple other guys went against that one guy again in the overalls. And then, I mean, my shoulder is no excuses, but I got blasted by Oleg's. It was just, I wasn't ready. But it was good. It was a good weekend, good tournament, good turnout. They make it bigger and better every year, as you should. If you're building an event, that's the goal, right? Is to get bigger and better every year. So they're still working through the kinks that they have, but they're doing it right down there. It's a lot of fun. I hope we keep getting a lot more people, because it's something good's going on down there. It's growing pretty good.
Nice. I was going to ask you too, because I'm headed down there for an event in July. So everything was good as far as, getting in there and getting out there and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you need a passport. You just walk. Like, when you walk in, you don't even get checked, and when you walk out, all you need is a driver's license.
Oh, okay. Because I'm just like trying to, with all that nonsense going on, I just want to make sure everything's on the up and up. So,
no, it's beautiful.
Oh, good. Good authentic food and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, man. They took us to tacos on Friday night. Oh my God. Like 60 cents a taco.
What?
Yeah, bro. And like, dude, I had like 9 of them. I was, oh God. I think like today's Wednesday, I'm back down to like 233. But when I stepped on the scale about 30 minutes before I started pulling, I was 248.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude? Why that ain't you, man.
I know, but man, I felt strong. I felt strong as shit.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, because the one thing I do every year, January 1st, every year, I hop on the scale to see where I'm at. And I took the scales at 249.6. And I'm like, okay. And, I kind of let myself go a lot. And, all my brain was thinking, I just got to make 242 for Tim's event in Washington and I'll be all right, whatever. And then just ballooned up. I just said, F it. I was like, okay, you know what? You start to feel sluggish as we get older. It's just like, okay, you know what? I can't be carrying this weight. I watched some of the show last week that I missed because I had to do a double shift. And, yeah, SB's looking skinny. I was like, okay, so it just kind of put things in perspective. Like, okay, I need to start getting in better shape and stuff, because we're not getting any younger, and that's neither here nor there. But that ain't what this episode's about. This episode's about this weekend.
What's this
Istanbul.
week? What's going on?
Huh? Oh,
What's
we
going
got oh, good old king of the table. You know what I mean? So this is the point where I think, and we'll get to the prediction with Michael Todd, but I sat there and said to myself, there's not too many guys that get a second opportunity to kind of make their way to the top and stuff. And, Michael has yet another opportunity, although this is probably one of the bigger matches he's had recently, like, is he going to pull it off, that kind of stuff. So we're going to find out. But prediction show, it's just you and me. Nathan's he's over there in Istanbul as we speak now. I don't know what time it is. I think it's like evening over there, but Ryan is busy. So it's just going to be me and you, my friend.
Yeah, I think it was, I thought it was like 6 o'clock over there. I wonder what they're doing.
Yeah, they're probably having dinner or something like that. So,
what's today? Wednesday?
Ain't it like Thursday? No, is it Wednesday over there or is it Thursday?
Yeah, it's Wednesday. It's 7 o'clock.
Okay, cool. So they're probably having a bite to eat. Hopefully he'll join us. But these matches are not in order, by the way. I just want to put that out there for everybody watching. So, Petro and Lachlan Adair, what do you see? How do you see it?
Lachlan's been looking really good lately. He's lost some weight, so he's quicker. He was already quick.
Right.
And he's only getting freaking stronger. His mind's right. I got to go Lachlan 3-1.
And speaking of getting bigger and stuff, have you seen Ryan Bowen, your boy?
Yeah. Have
you seen how thick he's gotten these days?
Eating that good spicy food over there in India.
Yeah, I see that, man. I think, this might be a statement match for Lachlan. And I think now he's trying to figure out, okay, this is where I belong. I got the strength. Now I got to get the shapeness. I got to get my condition dialed in and stuff. What better way to do that against a guy like Petro? So I think I'm not going to give you a score, but I will say I think he's going to come out with on top on the victory with that.
Okay.
Now, the match, there's a few matches I'm really looking forward to. This is one of them. Nugo and Matt Mask.
Man, I don't see who's stopping Matt right now at 105. The dude is just stronger than he feels good there. Like, he's not cutting that much weight. Like, he did it right where he got so fucking strong, and he's only cutting, I think, like less than 8 pounds each time. Like, I think he's walking under 240, if not right at 240. So as long as he stays walking 240 or below, it's going to be hard to beat Matt in that class. And, he has a chip on his shoulder. He went through a time where he had a bunch of losses, and now he's had a shit ton of wins, and I don't think that he's stopping. I think he sweeps him.
I would agree, but there's something about Nugo I kind of like. I'm not sure what it is, but it's like, what's the word? If I can say a word, resilient, that guy can be like, he's one of those guys you don't want to sleep on. You know what I mean? Because if you do, you'll get humbled real quick, But once again, people, when we make this prediction, it's not because the person we don't pick is horrible or weak, all that kind of stuff. And, it's just I see Nugo shocking some people.
Yeah. I mean, Nugo tries to go up top too. And if you're going to try to go up top against Matt, that's a bad day.
You have to hook Matt.
Yeah.
Kind of scoop him, I guess. Scoop him and bring him this way, which is kind of hard to do when you low hand top roll, and he comes hard. And like I said, when you in that position, and you know this, Tim, when you're somebody with a long lever, right? You got the elbow, straight up like that. You kind of dump that wrist, it's kind of hard to scoop somebody in this position, right? Makes it difficult. I don't know how people do that. I got so much pain right here that I can't fucking even do that. It hurts. But, when people do that and Matt's coming violently hard, it's like, man, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you almost can't scoop someone like that. You almost got to just use your bottom fingers and clamp down and try to get them towards you, and clamp down so hard that you take their wrist away and then try to go sideways. But your first move against someone like Matt has to be like clamping back towards you. If you try to go sideways and clamp down, he'll just take your whole hand. You got to literally get him extended before you go for the pin.
Oh, he'll bust your hand back like a lawn chair.
And I don't see Hugo doing that. So,
So we got Scott Evans in the house, James Clark, Bob Anderson, everybody. Welcome to the show. Zurab and Georgie. Is this the second match Zurab had since his arm break?
It might be it's his first on East versus West since then.
I'm trying to remember after he snapped his arm.
He's pulling who?
He's pulling Georgie Tatatev. How you pronounce that?
Oh, yeah, okay. It wouldn't matter who he pulls. I don't like Zurab, so he can go fuck off.
Why you say that?
We'll just go with the other guy no matter what.
Damn. Why you don't like Zurab?
No comment.
Okay, that's cool.
There's too many soft people in this world to say why.
Thank God we have a after dark session. I don't know. But Georgie's looking real good. Like that guy, he's coming on strong these days. And I'm not sure especially when you come off a injury like an arm break or a bicep tear, whether it's your first, match back or whatnot. It's one thing when you train because the people around you will keep you safe, right? But when you go to actual match, ain't nobody keeping it safe. They're trying to go for the win, and they will go for the kill in the process. So I'm not really sure mentally where he's at, but I will go with Georgie on that based on the fact that, no injuries, no problem, right?
Yeah, and I believe if I remember right, his arm break was like not really in a bad position either.
No,
like I think he just surged at the wrong time as somebody else was surging, and he just turned a little too much, and I think that's when it went because it's a right-handed match, right?
Yeah, well, like you said, Tim, the thing is this right here.
Yeah,
when you're surging like that, I mean, this right here spells doom.
Well, because if I remember, he wasn't even like that to start. It's when he went to surge. He went to surge, and then it turned out. It was like a delayed break, if I remember. It was like he hit right, and then kind of as soon as he got hit, it made him turn out, and that's what it went. It was kind of a freak accident, if I remember right.
It's like when he had the momentum. All of a sudden, it just stopped.
Yeah,
and then it popped. That kind of thing. So, but
that's why I mean, if you see a lot of my matches, I try not to. I don't really hit a lot. I literally, if I'm in a war, I literally watch the person and wait for them to be done hitting before I do my go, because those are some freak accidents.
And that's just being patient and being smart about it, Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, all right, the only women's match on the card, Egla and Jocelyn Brisson. Is this the moment for Jocelyn? This is all in her lap because in this weight class, there's only 4 people now that Sarah Bachman decided to go down a weight class. It's only 4 ladies: Barbara, Gabby, Jocelyn, Egla. And I don't know the next woman in that weight class, an open class, is going to come up. But this is a monumental match because Barbara is going to have less matches because there's less competition. I think we discussed that before in previous shows. How do you see that going?
I mean, we're relying on her here in North America. We need it. we need some hope over here some way or another. But yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, someone at the end of the day, either you're done arm wrestling or someone has to come up to pull you, or you have to start finding people. We need to start finding these bigger girls and start training the shit out of them to be able to go pull these people. But again, looking at I guess, super heavyweights, that category over here in North America, they just gotta get better. It's not better at arm wrestling. It's just got to get stronger. A lot of these ladies don't. Yeah, a lot of these ladies over here don't really work out. I guess like the ladies over there actually work out. They'll do training for arm wrestling, but the ladies over there do like full on like what men's workouts would be with dumbbells and this and that. I don't see a lot of ladies doing that over here.
Are you talking about North America or the States?
Yeah.
We got some women that actually do those kind of workouts, but they're not like up there though either.
Right.
So, and you and I know this because we've been around the sport a long time. Is it fair to say once you get to a certain level, then it's like, okay, you know what? It's not about technique no more.
Right.
Once you get to a certain level.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, with Jocelyn, she's been in the sport, I want to say 4 years, I think, maybe. But even then, her rocket ship, it all started with the whole world knowing she beat Sarah round robin. Then the following week she beat Heidi, which made her the queen of North America. Then she took on Bachman in one-on-one, and now she got Eglin. She wins this one. And like you said a moment ago, that North America needs this. I'm telling you right now, oh damn.
Yeah.
But if she wins that, it's pretty much a given that she'll got Barbora next. Will that be this year though?
Yeah. Yeah, it has to be. Barbora has to pull this year. Well, I mean, I guess she pulled in December was her last match against Gabby in Atlantic City. But yeah, it's gonna be. I think it has to be sooner than later. Just to keep Jocelyn going, right? We don't want to, like I say, ice her, right? We don't want to put her on the back burner for 6 months for this match. In my opinion, it is May. It could be on the July-August card.
The only reason why I say that, Tim, is because I've been thought once this match got announced, I thought that might have been too soon for Jocelyn.
Yeah.
Like, okay, is that enough training? Is that enough training time to get what you need to get?
3 months is quite some time, really, for anybody for training. But it's really going to depend on, now they're talking every 6 weeks for an event, right? And I think that match has to land on U.S. soil.
You have to. Okay, so, and we don't even know when the next event's going to come to the States, because you would think that. Can you imagine?
The next one's supposed to be in Chicago in the end of June. And then I think we go back to somewhere in July. So I'm going to say maybe the end of August, if not September, that match could happen here on U.S. soil.
Can you imagine if that shit was in Toronto? Oh, my God.
Good Lord. Don't be surprised, because I heard it's easier to get into Canada for those people over there than it is in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you put that in Ontario.
Oh, man, forget about it.
3,000.
Do you know Rebecca Roberts?
It sounds, yeah, the strong woman.
Yes, right? Yes. So Rebecca Roberts would be a beast, but she still wins major strong man competition. So I don't want to see her until she's ready to retire. So, let's touch base on that. And then Bob Anderson says there should be left-handed matches to make women's open more interesting. Yes, I agree, because you know how I feel about the left hand. Let's go. But to get back to Justin's comment, one has to wonder, like, at what point are we going to start seeing Ashley Hoyta on the scene? You know what I mean?
Man, I'm telling you what, Rebecca Roberts is strong as shit.
Well, look what Danielle just said. She can lift the 1-inch dumbbell. Like, seriously, that's a woo, man. If you could do that,
I got to train her. I got her to train her a little bit at the Titan House over there in Manchester.
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you, I just said it a couple shows ago. Within 2 years, man, get out of the super heavyweights are danger. They're in danger because,
and that's just it. So you have to, realize that the Titan House, they're I don't want to use the word breeding, but I'm gonna use it anyway. They're doing something special over there, So they're it's gonna take a year or two to kind of do that, but they're doing something special. Ashley Hoyt out of New Zealand. When are we gonna see her do some stuff?
Well, she was supposed to be here for Arizona State, but she was pulling Sarah, and then Sarah had surgery.
So here's a question: can she still not make it? Was just based on her match?
Yeah, we sponged it. I tried getting her to come over to pull somebody else or just come pull the tournament, and it was kind of like just a loss of interest at that point. But I'm pretty sure she's going to come over no matter what for Washington State. So,
because I was thinking, okay, you would think her name, it does carry weight. And the fact that she was to come over here, it probably would trigger more women to come to the event also. Maybe not. That's what I was thinking,
Yeah, I mean, because like the Swedes were supposed to come and everything. They were on board, and then the dates were mixed up, and they have Europeans that they can't miss. So the Swedes won't be here this year.
Right.
So it was just kind of a domino effect, but between the Swedes and her and a lot more people coming to Washington State this year, that's going to be mega.
So we should be expecting her in December is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, her and Mata Tarinki is going to come over together.
Woo!
Yeah.
Man, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. We could talk about this on the after hour show, but I would imagine if they're coming all the way over here, there's got to be some matches, So, man. All right. So I'm assuming you're picking Jocelyn on this one.
Of course.
What do you think about David Dadakan jumping up now, weight class wise?
He's a beast, man. Dude's very underrated left-handed, even right-handed. He's, man, when I reffed the King of the Table 5 or 6, was it? And he pulled Moore's off, and it ended in a 3-3 because they both got injured.
Yeah.
Dude, incredible. The dude has so much endurance. He's strong as shit. I said it was only a matter of time before he worked his way up to number one. And if he wants, and in my opinion, that could be in 115, that could be 105, that could be in the supers. I mean, I think he's that fucking strong that he can pick. I think he's doing the supers right now. Is he doing 115 or supers?
I think this is supers now because I heard he was bumping up now. So you figure, I
mean, at one point, like not even a year and a half ago, the dude was making 95.
That's my whole point. And it's like going now to see him go against Georgie. I'm like, I mean, I like Georgie. I mean, I'm a Georgie fan. I like him, but good. I mean, we are 23 minutes in, so I can start cussing now. I mean, Dadakan's like, I don't give you shit.
Yeah.
Well, fucking, he just does not fucking care.
I think in his eyes, whether he's pulled these people or not to prove himself, I think he got bored. I think he truly thinks that there's nobody for him unless he's in the supers.
Maybe.
I mean, I wanted to see him in Alizon.
I was just going to say, I'm like, well, can you say it against Alizon? Like, because
I mean, from what I've heard him talk, and like, one, he just likes being bigger because he says the bigger I get, the stronger I get, and I want to be stronger.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just to see him in Alizon at like, what was it, 115? I think that would be fucking sweet. That would be a war.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Yeah, we're talking Georgie. Like, we're talking Georgie.
I love Georgie. He's literally one of my favorites, but I think Dadakan runs right through him.
You think so?
Yeah, I do.
I think if Georgie doesn't get into these long wars where his fucking condition comes into play,
he's gonna try to take his hand, and Georgie's gonna, Dadakan's gonna go low on him and get into that cup, and it's gonna be a long day for Georgie.
James Clark says, I don't know. I'd rather be bored but hold the title for a while than fighting for someone I may or may not get. And that's just his opinion, you know.
I agree.
There's something to that, but then it's like, I don't know, because then you start having gatekeeping conversations. I don't want to get too far into that because we got people here in the States that kind of do that stuff. Like, okay, when competition's there, like, hey, competition, if you're the top guy, right, or top person, whatever, you have to know, well, only at the top, you have to know if people are coming at you.
Right.
And you can't be ducking and dodging and no, I'm not going to pull this person. No.
Bro, we have people doing that are ranked like 6, 7, and 8. Oh man, I can't pull right. I can't afford to lose my rank if I'm not on my A game.
Man, fuck the rankings, man. Here, let me ask you this. Before it was real big the way it is now, back in and you, when I say this, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Back in the Northeast Meshes board days, back in the Gary Roberts Arm TV days, no one gave a flying fuck about the rankings, really. It was cool to see a name up there, but it was about who was going to be at this tournament. It's all about competing and making a name for yourself and that kind of stuff. And now you get some people who get up there and they just want to hang out and, you know, they want to see how long they can be, you know, brag to their friends. Hey, I'm number. Hey, you know, I get that. You know,
I mean, when those people used to put on like the Kansas City group. Oh, Kansas City team traveling to blah, blah, blah. Man, we would try so hard to get to that tournament just to pull those people. You don't see that now. You see these people fucking have to hide that they're even coming so people will be in their weight class.
Yeah, because they want to, you know, maintain.
Or you get one better. You get there too early and weigh in too early, and people see you, and then they just hang out in the crowd and don't even pull that day. Oh, I don't want to pull.
Then why'd you make the trip then?
Yeah, I can't take top 3, so there's no reason for me to pull.
Ooh. Hey, James Clark says, Timmy, set me up with someone in the top 10, lefty 242.
Top 10, lefty 242. I mean,
hey,
there's going to be some guys there at Arizona State in the bracket. So
there you go, James.
I know one for sure.
Yeah. So big game, James. You don't mind me if I nickname you that? Big game, James. Okay. So here it is. Big game. He wants a lefty 242, top 10. So if let's just say you got somebody who was top 15, does he scoff at that?
What do you mean?
Well, okay, he's saying top 10. Well, what if somebody was like ranked 15 and says, hey, I'll take the match or whatever? Does he scoff at that? You see what I'm saying? Like, you know,
he's ranked.
I don't know where James is ranked right now.
Ranked 15.
Oh,
like you know. I have it right here, and you use it as an example. I'm looking at it. He's like 15 right here.
Oh, okay.
Well, I know like a couple of these guys are not going to be here. Obviously, like Topi's injured. I don't know. Ron Bath might be coming. He could be coming.
Right.
I'm not too sure. But this, I don't know. Like again, I'm looking at these rankings that to me don't really matter anymore. Half of these people never show up to a tournament, or maybe show up to like one a year in their backyard to be irrelevant. So it's like, and they use it to try to wait for a phone call or something. So, I mean, I don't
and I wish I was on the show last week because you all touched based on that, and I really want some shit to say after after I watched the show. I was like, damn, I wish I was able to show, because I'm like, that would have been a whole 20-minute soapbox, just my comment right there, because I don't get that. I think some people, not all, but some people kind of forgot the reason why we got into the sport was to compete, not to sit there and just hang out and protect something, you know? So, but like I said, big game, June 7th, Arizona State Championships. There's your guy right there. Come on. Let's do it. Let's do it. Bousier's in the house. What's up, Ryan? Thanks for joining the show and stuff. So, James said Ron wouldn't pull him. So, but moving forward, Jablonski, Kamil Jablonski. What does he have in store for? How do you pronounce that dude's name? I can't. Just
if you can't pronounce it, he's probably going to win.
Because I mean, it's like, all right, DZERANDY.
Let me go look at this thing.
Dizerny? Man, I can't. It's. I try so hard not to butcher people's name, but it's kind of hard, when they got like
Oh, I always butcher them so
eight,
bad.
9 letters, and they got like 4 syllables, but it's pronounced Bob. You know what I mean? It's just like
It's pronounced Bob.
it makes it real hard. So, but what I'm talking about though. So you got Jablonski. I still want to see Camille and Jerry go at it at some point.
Right-handed?
Yeah.
Is this a right-handed match?
I want to say left. Let me double check.
I'm trying to see who this person is.
I'm still pissed off that the fucking Steelers traded George Pickens, but that's neither here nor there.
I can't even find the fucking.
Yeah, it's left arm. It's it's a V. I'm sorry, not a Y. Dzernov. Is that his name? Dzernov. Yeah, there we go.
Oh yeah. I mean, that dude's a bad dude, but man, Jablonski's press is second to none. So I don't know.
You, James. Thank you.
Maybe I'll go for the upset. I'll take that guy. I'm gonna go for the upset. You
going Jablonski?
No, I'm gonna go the other guy.
I am. I'm going for Jablonski. Let's go because I do. This is what I see. I know it's left. I understand it's left hand, but I do want to see. And this is a right hand match coming up. Camille and Jerry at some point. I know it was set, but Jerry couldn't do it, so that got put on the back burner for now. So who knows? Maybe that match will happen in Chicago. I don't know. But is Camille, if they can square his shoulders on the setup, square the shoulders, whack,
See, I
stop that.
We just had Jerry pull Levon and all that, but like, at what point, as North Americans, I'll be selfish. I want to see Jerry go back for like Devin or some shit. Like, why can't we see that match running back in the States? You know how big that shit would be? Like, you got Europeans pulling Europeans. Why can't we have Americans pull Americans or North Americans or whatever?
I think because as people on the west of this thing wants to see West versus East, they try to stick to that. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. They try to stick to the concept of West, and I understand what you're saying. Totally get that.
It's been so long since it's happened that
it's been what, 6 years?
Maybe longer.
Yeah. So 2018 last time they pulled? Yeah, 7 years, something like that. But yeah, I don't know why. It's just like they're trying not to have the West versus West matches, I think, but we just had them before, so I'm not sure.
Like, I mean, heaven forbid Michael loses or whatever, right? Like, Michael and Jerry.
Do we want to see that again?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah. Should that's been like 6, 7 years. I mean, why not?
There's been some underlining opinions about that because the last time we saw there was some controversy about the equipment, the strap breaking and stuff, and fuck this. The rules say this. I'm still got my hammer, and I think because Michael's a very emotional puller, so when he acted the way he did, I think it rubbed a lot of people wrong, and I think some more people kind of just threw more hate at Mike because of that. And this is hey, when you're the champ, you want to protect your status, and I get that, But yeah, personally, if a strap breaks, then that's not legit. Run that shit back. But it kind of got left on the table, and it was like never talked about again, so to speak. So,
right.
But moving forward, Paul Lynn, David Samusha. Now, when was the last time Paul won a match on one of these cards?
So
was that when Babayev injured himself and Paul won by default?
It might have been. No, I think he had a win after that.
Who did he pull? I can't remember.
He lost his last one. But yeah, he had a win before that, I think. I mean, I think Paul Lynn wins. He looks jacked right now. And this is what kid, what's this? Is this a 105? No, this is a 95. It's a 95. So from what I
it
heard,
didn't say what it just says. Yeah, right on. It didn't tell me the
I
weight
believe
on
this
it.
is a 95 because the last time I believe I talked to Paul, I asked him why he wasn't in Dallas because I selfishly just want to see him pull.
Mm-hmm.
And he said they offered him a 105 match, but he was already preparing for a big 95 match and he didn't want to fuck that up. So I believe he was already preparing for this to be 95.
Gotcha. Okay.
Which makes sense. Smusha comes up one weight class.
Right. So you think this is it for Paul? You think this is the one that's going to be like, this is it right here?
Yeah, I mean this is really a bad for business match.
Why you say that?
Because if Smusha wins, that's great, but damn, that sucks if Paul Lynn loses, right? But if Paul Lynn wins, Smusha has to go back down, and there's nobody for him to pull.
He can just stay where he's at then.
I mean, if he loses, he's gonna be like, I'm gonna go back down to where my title's at. I mean, they're gonna have to keep giving him title matches anyways.
Yeah, but if you're like walking through everybody, at some point, you remember how WL did Todd Hutchings, where he was just whacking everybody. Yeah. All right, man, we got to bump you up because you're just smacking everybody. You know, at some point, you know, you want to, as an athlete, we want to compete. Yeah. Win, lose, or draw, we want to compete. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, see, again, another selfish match for me, right? Like, I want to see Paul Lynn and Todd Hutchings if he wins.
Yeah.
I mean, shit.
Oh, Bobby Anderson. Did you hear Devin's pulling Kerdeka in June?
That's got to be a left-handed match.
Yeah.
And that could be a great match.
Yeah.
I mean, left-handed, that is a great match.
I'm on board. I think, you know,
is Devin over at East versus West?
What do you mean?
Is he over in Istanbul? Like, this is the first time we haven't seen him on a card in how long?
He was just in Utah over the weekend.
Yeah. And they all flew out. So I wonder if they all flew out together or not.
Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, this is king of the table, so who knows? But because I know if I know Devin, he's saving that right hand for like elite people. I mean, everybody's elite at this level, but he's saving that right for you know who. So he'll take any left hand match. That's just my opinion, you know. So, yeah. But I feel you on the Paul Lynn to sit there and not pull on your home soil because you're really focusing on something else tells me something like, okay, his mind is right. That's just what it is, right?
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Like I said, he's looking massive right now. So
another star match I'm looking forward to, Matyushenko and Kalinchenko. Man, I don't even know where to begin with this.
I mean,
I don't know.
I like them both. Kalinchenko's awesome. He's funny, cool to hang out with. Awesome guy. Would love to see him win, but I just don't know if he can. I mean, Matyushenko's massive, so much technique, so versatile. He's definitely got to pull the. But the thing is, man, Kalinchenko is such a hard worker. Like every match he has, he puts all into it. He specifically trains for that person.
Which is, you know, what you should do. You know what I mean?
Like he goes in depth, like almost stalking, right? Like as you should. But I'm gonna go with him. It's gonna be a war, though.
You're gonna go with who?
Kalinchenko. I got him.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I'm going Matyushenko because I think, you know, he seems like
just this is what James said, man. I'm the same way. He surprises me every time. Every time.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's just one of those deals, you know. I mean, that's fucking badass, you know. All right. Back to the lighter guys. Artur Makarov versus Daniel Prokopchik.
Daniel to me is no different than, I don't want to say, how do you say this without
This is for the belt, right? This is for the
Yeah.
belt?
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you say this without confusing people? I'll explain after I say it. To me, he's no different than John Brzing. I would never bet against Prokopchik. Like, obviously, he's not the GOAT, but like,
No.
I
know what
would
you mean.
never bet against him. That dude is unreal when it comes to super match format. Tournaments is different. I watch him so many every year at Worlds, right? It's completely different, you know.
Mhm.
But in a super match, I would never count that guy out with my last dollar.
Well, I guess it's safe to say I know who you're going for.
Yeah, there's no way I would bet against him. Yeah.
Well, I kind of feel the same way. Based on what you said, yeah. But this would be his what? 5th title defense?
Something like that.
That's crazy.
He lost it and got it back.
Right. So I mean that's his division. You can besides LeVon, you can actually sit there and say that is his division. There ain't too many people you can say, oh, that's their division no matter what. He's one of them.
I mean, I think that Terrasitis is on his way to come back and get that title. But again, selfishly, I'd love to see Daniel go against Samusha in a catchweight. Maybe they meet halfway between their weight classes or something like that. Kind of like a battle of the champions that they've already had it for 5-7 times or whatever matches. Do a catchweight, meet in between. I think that would be pretty cool because I know Daniel walks around pretty heavy. Like Daniel makes serious cuts to pull in that weight class. So that would be cool to see.
That's how you know you're an athlete. So, all right, we got 3 matches left, man. Gennady and Sagov.
I don't know how Gennady's weight cut went. Whether it's true or not. I mean, what they say that Gennady had to lose, like, I'm trying to find it. It was something crazy.
Where is Gennady's head at these days? Now that he had the rematch with Devin, didn't go so well. Because I'm sorry, that could put a dent.
He's pissed. He has a chip on his shoulder.
Last I saw, Drew said he had to lose 9 kilos.
Something like that, like crazy. Bro, that's like 27, 30 pounds.
Fuck.
And that was when he got there. So, like, I before I saw that, I'm like, Gennady all day long. But now hearing something like that, like, I don't know, man. That was
still had like 30 pounds to go a few days out, I think. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it right now. I think that was on like Monday that Ingen posted that. Let me see here. I almost find it.
Why would you do that? Why would one do that to themselves? Like, it's one thing, okay, I got to lose 5 pounds, maybe 6. That's doable, but damn, 30?
Yeah, right here. Yeah. Can Gennady lose 12 kg in 3 days? We will see.
Ooh.
That's almost 40 pounds.
Was he taking a bunch of diuretics?
I don't know, but 40 pounds with 12 kg? Bro, I don't know. And I don't know if this is like a troll post or what, but like, yeah, 12 kg in 3 days. I don't know.
So here, Bob says Devin was 10 kgs over when he arrived in Istanbul and did a water cut. Okay, but here's the thing. Here's my thing to that, Bob.
Yeah, he also landed on a Friday, and he didn't have to wait until the next Friday. He had a week. I mean, that's about right to start a 20-pound weight cut. I mean, that's normal.
And there's that. But also, you got to realize that Devin's used to that kind of stuff. When he was pulling the supers and I'm gonna hit the 253, and I don't know if Gennady's used to that. I don't know. So that's something to look at, So, but yeah, so good question, Drew. If he misses weight, then what? Is it just a catch weight? I mean, this ain't for no title, so I don't think it really matters.
No, but I believe that their rule is over there that you forfeit your guaranteed show up money, and the other person gets the prize money no matter what.
So can I ask you a question? If that's the case, then why did you agree to that then?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Gennadi's crazy.
Knows his next figure in the house. We got Paul Maiden's hot spicy boner. What's up, my man? How you doing? How everything else is going out there? Hope everything's good with you. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm going Sagoff. I mean, if Gennady has to lose that, at some point, you're losing some kind of strength. You're depleted. I don't know where your energy level is. What's today? Whopper Wednesday? Yeah. So, and the event's Saturday on Mother's Eve. Oh, man. Right?
Right.
I don't even know. So who are you going for? I'm going for Sagoff.
Same. Well, I'm still going to go with Gennady. Fuck it.
That's crazy, man. To sit there and go, you got to lose that much weight in a little amount of days, just crazy. Okay, now we're down to the meat and potatoes of this event. All right. First things first, though. Bob says Gennady has done major cuts in the past. Maybe not as – and that's the thing, Bob. I meant like major cut is one thing. A major cut with a small window is something different. That's the only reason why I said that, I mean, yeah, if you gave the guy, 3 months, then, yeah, no big deal. 2 months, fine. But we're talking X amount of days. That's pretty rough. And I don't know if he's used to that. I don't know. I mean, what do I know? I hate cutting anyway. That's just – what it is, but for health reasons, I got to do that. So,
right,
the last two matches, we can say the co-main events, call it what you want it. Is this the time where Tadzilla, there's always that what if, right? There's always that but, and this is match will tell the whole story. Rustin Babayev and Tadzilla, and I'm telling you right now, when Todd gets into his funk, right? I don't mean that in a bad way. When he gets into his funk, his zone and stuff, and he really nails it in there, he's really trying to, get some stuff done there. And I think this might be the one. Ballinger, what's up, my man? The Bulls in the house. Look out, folks. What do you think about this? Because that's been a thorn in Todd's side for years, yes?
Yeah, I mean, it's someone he's never beat. And again, he's bringing that chip on his shoulder. He's the one on the rise. Babayev's making the great American comeback, we'll call it. It's time for Todd to show him who's daddy.
If Todd wins this, does he go up a class?
Well, I mean, no, he won't. I would love to see him go up and pull like a Matt Mask if Matt wins or something like that. But I don't know. Well, he said it on the show, not me, so I can say it. They said like if he wins, he's gonna pull a Rockley again for the championship. I'm like, how many times is he gonna pull a Rockley?
Okay, so the reason why I asked does he go up because
and why is Rockley the next in line?
Yes, that's my whole argument. Like, okay, you start recycling matches. The one thing you don't want to do is start recycling matches, right? You don't want to be that, that person, Honestly, I would love to see a match between, Ungerbayev and Tadzilla, if I'm being quite honest. Just to throw something different, because there's a lot of people at this level, and you can mix and match matches to where it's like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. Let's try that one just to see what would happen. But when you got the same guys over and over, do we need to see an act 3 of, like, for example, Devin Levon, act 3? Do we really want to see that? Probably not anytime soon. At least that's my opinion. Because I still want to see what could this version of Vitaly do against a current Levon. And we can get into that in a second. But, with Mr. Hutchings, I think this is the one where it's like, you know what? I'm going to show the whole world why I am who I am and why I am who I say I am. And in that right there.
Yeah, I mean, Unger Bios, I don't know what's going on. I mean, obviously he came back from injury
Mm-hmm.
and Matt just dominated him, but like, can he make 95? Like, he was 2 kgs over 105 when he got to Dallas, and he had to cut a little bit. Maybe that just wasn't prepared for it. But again, yeah, I would love to see, like, you know, Unger Bayev versus a Todd, and maybe if Paul wins, and we think he will, maybe him go up against Rockley, and then maybe the winners have each other. And you got all those matches created that haven't happened yet.
And that's the thing. It's like, I don't know if they're scared to kind of, do that. And so therefore you got to recycle the same match you've already saw. And, it's like, you don't want to, you don't want to do that.
I can tell you right now that if Unger or if who's Todd Pullen?
Babayev? Talking about now? Yeah.
If Babayev or something like that loses, and I think he will, why can't we see Babayev versus like Arson, who just won?
Yeah.
I mean, that war right there is huge.
Here, I'll throw another one at you. Where does even though he lost and then he won against John, where does Yoshi fall in all this?
I don't think Yoshi's still not ready for those 4 guys.
Right.
But I don't know. I'm not the matchmaker at East versus West. So,
right.
Hey, Ryan, you come see me first, and then we'll talk, buddy.
There you go, Ballinger.
You got a date over here at any way you want.
Buddy. So here, let me go. Let me go and touch that. Let me go and touch that. So here's Ryan. He says some of us. Burns won our match and still waiting for another. So how do I even start this conversation? When qualifiers and whatnot, I'm assuming he's talking about his East versus West match, right?
Yeah.
So again, one has to wonder when you do that kind of stuff. You did your job. You had 2 jobs to do, Ryan. You showed up and you won. All the rest is just details. Let the rest of the pieces fall where they may. And now you're probably going, okay, I won. What the fuck? So I get where he's coming from at that. And one has to wonder, how does this process even work? You know what I mean?
Hey, some people won stuff and never even got a match.
Yeah. Hey, I get it. So let me ask you this, Tim, since we're talking about that.
And I could fully tell you that some people that are not on their radar probably just got thrown into a match to say, here is a match and we're done.
It's like a one-off?
Yeah.
Well, you better ride that wave, then I'll be posting that shit all. Here, I tell you what. Hey, Ryan, this is what I would do. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just saying if I was you, I would do this. That match you won, I'll be posting that shit every other week. Because the more people see it, the more kind of go, some way, somehow, a promoter, this one right here, might put you up with somebody. You know what I'm saying? So I'd say keep posting that stuff, dude. Seriously. Like he just said, he's hungry. And, and look at this. He deserves a match. I mean,
well, this is the only thing I can say for him is just it's one of those things where maybe they didn't notice that match or whatever. So get out there and go chase people that are at tournaments and you have nothing to prove, but I want to say, like, how do you say it, right? Like, reprove yourself and just post it, right? Go find those big dogs and go get another huge win and get re-seen again. It's all about who you share a big win to, if that makes sense. It doesn't even have to be England. There's about 4 people in North America that have the chirp in England's ear that you can just send it to them, say, look, I just went to Oklahoma and beat this guy this weekend, man. I'm still ready. And if you need to know who those people are, text me.
There you go. And James said, what happened to the qualifiers? I think they're still doing them.
They're doing them more overseas now because I kind of got mad about that too because Now they're running events every Friday before events here, right?
Yep.
And so I don't think that we really have qualifiers anymore. I think they're looking at those as who dominated that we might be able to give a match to type of deal.
So you don't have to win your class, because I mean, like, and can I use you for an example?
Yeah.
So the one in Arlington, you won, correct?
No, I took second.
Oh, okay.
I won Orlando. I didn't pull in Atlantic City. I refed.
Right. But when one gets that, what we got going on here? Something big coming in December for a new Supermatch series should be released next week or two, but starting after June 7th, I'm hunting. Hey, Ryan, what's up, man? I mean, don't be leaving us in the – hey, you know what? Don't be leaving us in the dark, man. Don't be doing that, man. In December, huh? Don't be doing that. Okay.
In December, our new Supermatch series. I mean, yeah, everybody's always going to try to do what the next thing is. But again, look what happened to East versus West qualifiers. You got one match and then what? So it's like, why do we keep chasing these next big things? Why don't we just keep getting out there once a month at tournaments to prove yourself, to go do stuff? Why are we going to wait till December to do something? That's what this is how people control the game of arm wrestling and keep elites like yourself from doing stuff all year long, because they're like, hey, we're going to do this in December, man. Boo. And then you don't want to do nothing until December. And then what if that flops? You just wasted 6 months of proving yourself for one opportunity that, heaven forbid, if you end up losing, then what? So my advice is fuck that. Get out there. Keep fucking pulling. Keep getting noticed. And don't worry about the fucking one-offs, because you can still go to that. But the more you pull, the more you're going to be ready for it. You're not going to be fully ready for it if you sit there and just pull the same guys in your club and keep training than you would if you pull different guys to get different techniques done. That's just my opinion.
Well, can I piggyback on that? And the bull, this is nothing directly towards you. So just kind of hear what I'm saying. When Tim is saying that, we come from the old school cloth, where it's like, how do people make a name for themselves? They go ahead, they show up and show out. They go to these tournaments, make some waves. You'll get the call, man. All you got to do is go out. I mean, I've seen people's stock go up in a loss, by the way. So don't think that, you just need this one match and I'm going to put all my eggs in this one basket, because we've seen people go to the Challenger Series. Never got a sniff at East vs. West, although it was dubbed East vs. West Challenger Series. Mm-hmm. I've seen people go there, win their match against a European 3-0, never got a look at. Not from that standpoint, but at other promotions they did. So, and
I'm not even, Jody, I'm not even saying this is an East versus West thing. So let's not, because nowadays we have to clarify for a lot of people, right? So let's clarify this. This isn't just us talking about East versus West. It could be some other promotion that's starting or already established that say, hey, we want you to pull in November. So you don't do nothing until November. All you're doing is waiting till November to help them out. You're not helping yourself.
I think what it is, Tim, and I want you to respond to this, and everybody in the chat. I think when you say that, and we'll use that example. Hey, I got something for you November, I don't know, 13th or where the fuck, right? And, they're like, okay, cool. It's what, May 7th? Then guess what? I'm not going to do nothing until then. I think it's because if some people, not all, if some people decide to take a match before that, or they pull a tournament before that, if they get nothing else but a win, they think in their mind, okay, that just ruined my chances. And for some reason, some promoters act like that as such.
Well, let me piggyback off of that, because I've been in this situation.
Okay.
So say I'll use Neil Pickup hits me up. Yo, I got this 220 match, man. It's in September. You want it? I'm like, cool. I'll take it. Now, I will go to like 3 tournaments before that and pull 242s a class up. I won't pull my 220 class because of that reason, right? But I'll go pull bigger and stronger guys in and maybe get my ass kicked or maybe win, but I'm only getting better because I'm pulling bigger and stronger dudes. So if you get a match at 220 and say this is in December that we're talking about, Ryan, I'm just using you because you brought this up. No hard feeling. Say you got something December. They'll pull fucking 242s and supers all year long to pull these bigger and stronger guys. So by the time you get to this main event that you're talking about at 220, these guys are fucking small to you because you've been dominating 242s for 6 months. That's how I would prepare for something like this. I would literally go chase big dogs that are 242 and supers. So no matter what, when I come to my 220-pound match, I'm ready and I'm feeling huge because I was just pulling big dogs.
Right. I mean, that's the exact way to look at that because, you know, like I said, I think this landscape is so different now because of the fact that, hey, if I lose, I'm losing ground. I mean, that's what they think. And, you know, and let's be real, Tim, and, you know, you could probably speak on that, maybe not. Some promotions out there see that and they do the same thing. Well, you lost. So that kind of takes some of the steam off the match I had in store for you 4 months down the road because you lost a match. It's like going, okay, you know, what if let's just say we'll use me, for example. I don't mind putting my stuff out there. So let's just say, hey, it's December, Washington State. Oh, Jody has a match with so-and-so, right? We'll just say, to make this story make sense, oh, fucking Jody and James Clark, Big Game James, just for example, right? It's set for December. If I go out to a tournament, I don't take first place in my weight class, or if I lose a match I got coming up, then all of a sudden, does that take the steam off of the match? I think a lot of people think like that. You know, as a promoter, do you think, well, shit, Jody just lost to this guy I don't know of. I mean, does that lower his, you know, expectation? And James is like, well, hell, why am I pulling this guy? Let me pull the guy that beat Jody. So much goes on. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean,
that's just how, you know.
And sometimes as a promoter, it is true, but that's why I revert back to like go pull the bigger guys. You know, because okay, so say I set up the number 1 versus the number 2. At whatever weight class. And then it's in 6 months. And then 2 months down the road, they lose to the number 10 guy, right? It does hurt. But I would tell people, if you want this match, I don't care who you pull, just pull a weight class above until it's time to do that. Like you can still keep pulling. And it's not your same guys, right? Like obviously the best people you can train with is your team, right?
Yeah.
But some of
if
the
you
best,
have a team,
some of the best knowledge you're going to get leading up to that match is pulling different tournaments and different people, right? There's a reason why a lot of these people say they got a big match. They'll all go somewhere to like Oklahoma and train with people that they don't train with anymore, and then they'll go to Florida and train. It's because they got to go pull these different styles of people. They don't just sit there and pull their same group up until this big match. You got to get yourself out there and feel different arms and different styles than you haven't been used to.
Yeah. So here, I'll give you a perfect example. So last fall, you know, I was set to pull Mega Mike super match, right? In San Diego. And I had to go to Idaho and train with Robbie Topi to get ready for that match. And, you know, ipso facto, Mega Mike couldn't do it. So it was like, okay, fine, whatever. But yeah, that's what you have to do. You have to go outside your comfort zone. If that means, I got to go to Bob Brown's in Utah, I got to get ready for this, that, and the other. I mean, so be it, you know, that kind of stuff. Or I got to go up to north to train with Jacob Abbott to get ready for a match coming up, or whatever the case may be. I totally get that. Yeah. And sometimes you may have to do that, you know. Ryan says he always pulls 3 classes at tournaments. Yeah, you know, just to kind of get that different. There's going to be somebody with a bigger hand than you, smaller hand, thicker hand, bony hand, more width, whatever the case may be. Different styles. Oh, this guy has side pressure, up pressure, back pressure, down pressure, where the fuck, you know? So you got to get used to all that, you know? Yeah, I think I agree, Tim. Sometimes a person can do themselves a disservice when they do that, because then all of a sudden now, I don't know about y'all, but as I get older, the years go by pretty damn quick. And you know, going, damn, I only pulled how many tournaments or matches or whatever, you know?
Yeah, see, I kind of look at it like, if I'm pulling, say I'm pulling some European in August, right? The first motherfucker, and say I'm pulling this guy and I'm watching his matches, I'm like, man, crazy side pressure, right? The first thing I'm doing is hitting up Todd Hutchins going, yo, can I come out for a weekend and train? right? You want to study your match. You want to find the fucking best guy you know, go out to his house and train with him, right? Because you're not going to get that training with your group if he's not the best guy.
Yeah.
So you do your daily trainings with your group, you do your routine, and then you just pick a weekend where you find that elite, or doesn't have to be elite, that someone's just, that's their specific shit, and go out there and train with them, right? Then you come back and do your shit. You know, there's a reason why I like UFC fighters, right? They go train in Abu Dhabi or they go train in Oklahoma or whatever, right? They go find these best groups on how they're going to beat that specific opponent. They may never train that motherfucker again, but they were ready for that match. You can't fully be ready for something if you don't get out there and try different techniques.
Right. I may go fucking, travel 3 hours north to go to Pastor Mark's house where there's Ernest Strand's, Nick Mode, Vacton from Georgia, the country Georgia, who lives there now. I may go train with those guys and be like, all right, let's just say, I got a match with Edo, whatever the fuck, and just say things like that, whatever, Yeah. But I kind of want to touch base on that because we still got one match to talk about. But
I was going to say, do we have another match going on? All right.
Yeah, Ryan did make a good point. I want to touch, but I didn't want to forget. Yeah. So yeah, the other main event. Oh, I'm assuming you're picking Todzilla. Sorry.
Oh yeah,
Vitaly and the Monster. And like I said before, there ain't too many people that will get a second chance at their way to the top. Devin got one. Now it's Michael's turn. Even after a loss, he got a second crack at if he wins this, it's a beeline straight to Levon. I think that's been said. Your thoughts on this?
Endurance. Michael has endurance. I think Vitaly's massive.
Hey Tim, I gotta take this. I'm expecting this. Go ahead and hit the show right quick.
Yeah, I mean, I think Vitaly is just super strong. He has so many tricks. He's been in the game for so long. But when it comes to Michael Todd, really, his endurance, his training looks like it's been on point, and he just has the heart for it. He seems to be in a good mindset. But it's still Vitaly. They both want that next higher power, whether it's going to be Levon, unless Levon gets cracked by Hermes. That's another topic there. I personally think he's going to get cracked by Hermes. I think he's finally going to lose. But yeah, I mean, it's got to be Michael Todd, in my opinion. Chat, what do you guys think about this match? I mean, who do you think is going to win between Vitaly and Michael Todd? We've seen Vitaly come off good wins. We've seen Michael Todd come off of a banger. But I really haven't seen too much of Vitaly's training. Obviously, we see everything with Michael Todd's training, but I don't really see Vitaly's training. So I can only assume Vitaly's in the best shape of his life. I just don't think, and it's been a proven fact, it's kind of like the Dave Chaffees, right? It's just that endurance is still not what it once used to be. And coming from a guy who relies on patience and endurance, one would have to think that's got to outweigh power and strength.
I said a prayer for Michael. I actually said a prayer and sent it to him. And I told him, not many people get a second chance, man. So I'm glad, you get a second crack at that on your journey, but you got to make this one count, man.
Later, James.
I take care, James. I got to see, man, like Mike, this is it. Because this might, if you lose this one, I don't know if you might have to go to the back of the line.
And again, it's for me. I said this on one of his other matches, and I thought he was going to do it. And I
was it the Hermes match?
I get why he's doing what he's doing, but you have to say, if for some reason, and I hope he doesn't lose, you're the 115 guy from now on, man. You're not. You got to get out of the supers and pull 115 and just dominate the shit out of it. Because I mean, at the end of the then it's just gonna be recycled matches. These guys have all pulled each other so many times, and And how far can you take your fucking body to stay up there, right? I don't know. I would say you win, you move on, you lose, please 115, be healthier, dominate the fuck, stay in the sport longer.
Is it one of those situations with Sarah when she knew, okay, I can't be up in this level. I'm gonna drop down because now there's different matches, different opportunities, that kind of thing. Because I'm starting to think that with the sport, when you're at a certain weight for a while, you kind of going, all right, either A, I'm too bored, or B, I'm just getting thrashed. It's time for me to go a weight class down or whatever. Do you think it's one of those kind of situations?
Yeah, I think at one point, like, these people are forcing themselves to be up there. They're forcing their bodies to take in all these nutrients to be there and all this food. They're not naturally that big. They're really not. Like, if he wants to walk around normal, he's probably a 245 guy. Like, he's not natural 275, 285 guy. So at what level do you just keep pushing your body? And yeah, you may feel as strong as you've ever felt, but you're not doing yourself any good by staying up there. And I think that's why these people naturally come back down and do really well where they're at, because they're still strong as shit, but they're not killing themselves to be at a weight that they don't need to be at anymore.
Couple questions. Bob says, what if Vitaly loses? Imagine him cutting at 115. Does his body frame allow that? Because we're talking,
like, he's a natural super heavyweight, right?
Yeah, he's his frame
6'9". Like,
that's like saying, Derek Smith, can you come down to 253? Like, what the fuck? Like, what?
Yeah, and that's the point right there. Is look at Michael Todd's natural probably weight and look at Vitaly's, right? Like, Michael Todd is a natural 242 guy every day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Stay there and be dominant. But sometimes they have it in their head, not saying he does, that maybe there's nobody there for him. But
I think because everyone has the attention span on the supers,
everybody wants to crack. Everybody wants to crack at the unbeatable. And
I get it.
And I say that because I think until Levon loses, somebody's always going to go up to chase it to see a what if. Now, if Levon loses, I think it shakes up everything. I think a lot of people go back to their natural shit and start doing stuff because at one point he's already been beatable. So what's the point? You're number 2. Saying you're number 2 is nothing. If you're the second person to beat him, nobody will ever know your name.
Can you say the same thing about Levon's frame? Same height as Michael Todd, but weighs about 100 pounds more. No, I mean, like I said, because we seen Levon when he was not this version of him 130 some odd pounds ago, competing at WAF Worlds. He wasn't that damn big, but at some point, I think what Tim is saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, Tim, when you start doing that kind of stuff, then you got to go, okay, is this healthy for me to maintain this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Levon's screwed. Let's just put it that way. What he did to his body, there's no coming back from what he did. And
you're going to be like Dennis?
Yeah, there's no coming back. When he loses weight, he might lose 50 to 100 pounds because he's going to be sick, but he'll never compete at that low of a weight compared to like Michael Todd's. He's not like he's unhealthy being up that high, but he still feels good. He's not like out of the wind to go back down easily 30 some odd pounds to compete at a normal weight, right? It gets to a point where you're 150 freaking pounds over the weight limit of the last category. There's no coming back from that.
Well, I mean, look what Drew says. Who doesn't want to be the best overall, bar none? And then, Levon did some forced transformation. But, to be the best overall in the world, some way, somehow, you got to ask yourself a question. Am I willing to risk it all?
Yeah.
And say, F it. I'm going to risk it all to be that guy. What if you don't do it? We've seen people on the fucking I don't want to say amateur circuit, but on the open circuit, that do that kind of stuff. And then they pull local events. Like, blows my mind.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason why Hermes physically had to wait 2 or so years to do this match again. For the simple fact, he couldn't get his body back up to there. He had to be healthier again for a little while. Yeah, he took some losses, but what he did to his body to get to 292 or whatever he was, he was on the brink of death, right? And so he came back down. And for someone like him, he said one more run and that's it. He's doing it one more time to see if he can actually do it because he's the one that's came the closest.
Yeah.
But it's scary to see what happens if he wins too, because how long can he keep his body to there is a death wish.
Well, let's just say I know, and we're done with the predictions now. I think you said you pulling for Michael, right?
Yeah.
And, let's go ahead and take it a step further. Now, let's just say Hermes does beat Levon. That'll shock the world. It'll send shockwaves everywhere. Now, you said everybody's going to be licking their chops going, oh, well, hell, if Hermes got now I can get a crack, because now some people are going, I don't have to beat Levon to be the number one guy. All I got to do is beat Hermes. So there's that thinking, right? There's a thinking of, okay, where does Levon go? Does he go to the back of the line, or does he get that automatic rematch? So there's a lot of questions that swim around that. You know what I mean?
Right.
What will be your opinion?
I mean, for him, it circles back to a rematch. They take 6 months for another rematch. It has to.
I don't see. Here's the thing. This is why I respect Devin, because you want to compete, you compete. Not these, and it's like the old school, heavyweight boxers where they my match is in February. I don't box again until November or October. You take all this time off. Now you're pulling twice a year. It's like, that kind of stuff. But I guess we're at this point now.
Yeah. I think we should wrap it up. We've been on here for an hour and 17 minutes.
Oh, damn. Yeah. We just holy shit.
We've just been bullshit like we had back in the day. Like we have some whiskey in our hand. We're just sitting around the table.
Yeah, we're just running it. Hey, man, you got 5 minutes after the show we can wrap?
Yeah.
After dark, everybody. If you want to know, send us $59.99. All right.
Arizona State, June 7th. Be here. It's going to be
Check
epic.
it out, guys. Check it out. That it'll be just around the corner. Man, we got to touch base on that too.
Yeah.
Because the Pork Chop Mega Mike, that's one of the matches I'm looking forward to. But we can touch base about that down the road. Everybody, thanks for chiming in. Enjoy the West Shore Whopper Wednesday. And we will see y'all soon next time. I think all four